We're talking fantasy football. Now, I know that I wanted to do my fantasy sports show that never took off. But a lot of people have been asking me about my fantasy football leagues this year and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go over my fantasy leagues and who I have and stuff like that. Just give it a little talk. It'll be a relatively short video, but I know there's guys that love fantasy football, and I love fantasy football. So I'm in three leagues, two PPR and one standard league. One is a one's a 6-man league. I believe one is a 8-man league, and I believe the other one's a 10-man league. I believe my second one is a. I believe my main one is 7, 8. No, my first, yeah, and I believe my work league is 10 guys. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So starting with the 6-man league, obviously in these kind of leagues, it's only a 6-team league. It's a PPR league, so teams are going to be stacked. But I do believe that I have a very, very, very good team this year. I believe right now I'm 5-1. I believe I'm ahead by at least. Let's see. Yeah, I'm 5-1, and the guy below me, who was one of my great friends, Montana, he is 3-3. So in this league, I have Carson Wentz, who I picked up late when Alex Smith was on a bye. I have Alex Smith. I have Jordan Howard, C.J. Anderson, Antonio Brown, Adam Thielen, Travis Kelce, Doug Baldwin, Seattle's D, Mason Crosby, DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, no, I have Drew Brees in this league, not Alex Smith. Martavius Bryant, Amir Abdullah, Tevon Coleman, LeGarrette Blount, and the Texans D. So obviously all these guys are stacked. I was the third pick in the draft. I ended up taking Antonio Brown, and then I came right back, I think, on the snake up with – I'm pretty sure I came back with Jordan Howard. I believe so. But my team is actually doing very, very well. I mean, not really too many guys have had a bad year. DeAndre Hopkins is having a great year. All my bench guys, Martavius Bryant, Abdullah, Blunt, and Coleman, they're all having very, very good. But I'm really, really happy in this team. But like I said, it's a 6-man league. Everybody is going to have some sort of stacked team to their thing. But, you know what I mean? There's guys that definitely aren't producing like they should be, like Martavius Bryant's obviously not. LeGarrette Blount is underperforming as well, in my opinion, for fantasy-wise, like he should be. So, yeah, that team, it's kind of like just set the lineup on a Wednesday, and I never have to worry about it until Sunday, unless, like, there's clearly someone hurt. So, that team name is it Hurts 1IP. I love it. Next up is my work league, which is a 12-man league, which is a bunch of my work friends. And I split the team with my girlfriend's brother. We've always wanted to do a fantasy league together. He's the commissioner in one of my other leagues. So we ended up taking Mike Evans with our first pick, and then we took Melvin Gordon, and then we took Mike Evans back. And then I have Mariota, Tevon Coleman, Jarvis Landry, Jimmy Graham, who I just picked up for my buddy Mike. Didn't do anything for Mike all year. And then, of course, I pick him up, and he has a great year. Sorry, Mike. Mark Ingram, Buffalo's D, Justin Tucker, who I took in like the 8th, 9th, 10th round because he's probably the best kicker in the league. Then Devontae Adams, Martavius Bryant, Rob Kelly, Jared Cook, Will Fuller, who we picked up late, that boomer bust guy. I love Will Fuller. He was so, so good coming out of college, but injuries just riddled him. We picked up that Aaron Jones off the waivers because we had I think 3 out of our 4 running backs all had bye weeks at the same time. So, and then we had the Lions D because Buffalo's D was on a bye last week. So we're having a pretty decent year. I mean, we started out really, really bad. Obviously, Melvin Gordon couldn't get it going. Mike Evans and Jarvis Landry both had bye weeks week 1, so both of our stud receivers were gone week 1. So we were forced to play Martavius Bryant, and I believe we played Devontae Adams. So they had pretty weak weeks. But we did we did draft David Njoku as our starting tight end, and we ended up getting Jared Cook, and then we ended up taking Jimmy Graham off the waiver wire. So I loved it. But our team's not doing too bad right now. We're 3-3. So this league's really tight. Like everybody's so close. There's like not really one clear cut guy that's walking away with the title as of right now. Right now, our team is looking very well. Unfortunately, a lot of guys are hurt in this league. Like a lot of guys, like I think the guy that took Aaron Rodgers, he took Aaron Rodgers in like the second or third round, maybe even I don't even remember. I believe it was like the second or third round. And the trades in this league, I got to talk shit about my work league real quick. The trades are one, there's really not many trades happening, and if there is trades happening, they're not good trades. Like before Aaron Rodgers went down, there was a trade that was Aaron Rodgers for Christian McCaffrey and Eli Manning. So you're taking an elite QB1 and trading it for a low-end RB2, even in a PPR league, and a QB3. Let's be honest, Eli Manning is not that good. So, and no matter what we do, like trades are either getting vetoed out the fucking gate, or they're getting just destroyed. It's crazy, but everybody has a pretty decent team. I mean, there's guys that are definitely running back heavy. I mean, I think one of the guys in the league has Zeke Elliott and Leonard Fournette, and he has Doug Martin. He has all these running backs. He doesn't want to wheel and deal any of them out. And there's guys that there's a guy that took Des Bryant in the first round, who I love him to death, but he took Des Bryant in the first round, and it's just so funny. He passed up on so many guys. He passed up on Mike Evans. He passed up on so many good running backs. I mean, he passed up on Melvin Gordon. I believe he passed. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Then we had a guy who took Larry Fitzgerald with like the 4th overall pick. I believe it was like the 4th or 5th overall pick. Guys are crazy. Guys are literally crazy. So, in my main league, which is a standard league, I'm 4-2, and there's 3 guys tied for first. And this is my keeper league from last year. If you watch my updates from last year, you knew that I had LaShawn McCoy and Amari Cooper. I traded for Amari Cooper right before the trade deadline. I traded for Amari Cooper. I believe I traded Amari Cooper away for a 2nd round pick. Who did I have that? It was Amari Cooper. I think I traded like some running back away, like someone that wasn't too great. I think it was like a Rob Kelly, I think, last year. But I ended up getting Amari Cooper, and he ended up having duds for me. I had a 1st round bye in this league last year, and then I got booted because I had a monster bye week. The bye week I had, I played Atlanta's defense just to have a defense in there, and they got me like 40-something points. And then I got crushed the next week. Like I had Tom Brady, Shady, and Amari Cooper. I believe I had Jimmy Graham. I think I did for tight ends. I had such a great team last year, and I got booted. But this league this year, I had the opportunity to – I was going to keep Shady. I was going to keep Amari Cooper. I had the opportunity to keep T.Y. Hilton. I had T.Y. Hilton too. But just knowing that Andrew Luck was out, I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just keep Amari Cooper. Andrew Luck's going to be out. There's no way T.Y. is going to be able to keep up his top 10 performance. And obviously I messed up because Amari Cooper is absolutely doing nothing for me this year as my wide receiver 1, and I just can't sit him. I can't sit him in standard formats. I mean, you'll see in a minute why, because I don't have other wide receivers. I really don't. And I ended up trading Shady straight up for Melvin Gordon in the offseason, so I ended up keeping Melvin Gordon and Amari Cooper. So as of right now, my team is Melvin Gordon, Joe Mixon, Alshon Jeffrey, Tyreek Hill, Cameron Brate, Duke Johnson Jr., the Vikings defense, Will Lutz, Amari Cooper, Lamar Miller, Mike Gillislee, Latavius Murray. I have Jake Elliott for the bye week there, Will Fuller, and I have Emmanuel Sanders, who unfortunately he's out, so he's in my IR spot. So look at that. I have Alshon Jeffrey, T.Y. Hilton, and Will Fuller. So like this week, it's kind of hard. Tyreek Hill is not performing how he should be. Alshon Jeffrey clearly isn't getting the fantasy numbers. He's having good performances for us as an Eagles fan. He's doing great, but it's just he's not performing well. Obviously, Joe Mixon at the beginning of the year, his snap count was very, very low. I thought he would take over completely. I think I had – who did I have as my starting – because I didn't draft Cameron Brate. I believe I drafted – I drafted Fedorowicz, and he got hurt. He got put on IR. So I ended up picking Brate off on the waivers. So he's doing really, really well for me. Alex Smith, I drafted Jay Cutler. I drafted Jay. My last 2 picks in this draft were Jay Cutler and Megatron, just thinking that Megatron was going to come back. Well, I ended up getting Alex Smith on a waiver, which I obviously love. He's performing so very well. But Duke Johnson, I just took off. I grabbed off waivers. I drafted Lamar Miller in the first round, but technically it's the 3rd round because it's a keeper league. I took Mike Gillislee just thinking because he was the best handcuff for Shady last year that the Patriots would give him all these carries over Dion Lewis and James White, but he's obviously underperforming. I took Latavius Murray thinking that he was going to be the guy that was going to be in the backfield for the Vikings, but Dalvin Cook obviously was the guy until he hurt himself. Now Jerick McKinnon's taking over. And I picked Will Fuller up off the waivers because Will Fuller's having a great season right now, and he's very, very good in standard leagues. I also drafted Emmanuel Sanders, and I haven't really been able to play him that much because I didn't like the matchups with him. But the fact of the matter is that he's out right now, so I'm really, really stretched on wide receivers. So I'm forced to play Alshon, Tyreek, and Amari Cooper almost every single week. And a game like tonight, I have to play Alex Smith, Tyreek Hill, and Amari Cooper. And if you know me and my friends know me, they know I hate Thursday night games. I mean, I physically I might not even play Amari Cooper tonight just because I just might not. I might end up playing Johnson next. Those are my leagues. I mean, never again will I do a 3-man league. Never again. It's so much work. You're rooting for guys that are on your team, but they're not on other teams, and then you're rooting for guys that you have studs that are playing the Eagles. So and then you got guys I have Melvin Gordon in my one league, but then I'm playing against them in my other league. It's just don't ever do 3 fantasy leagues. It's not worth it unless you have stacked teams. So on that note, I love it. I love fantasy football. It's so much fun. Guys, let me know about your fantasy comment. Let me know your fantasy teams. I love it. And we'll see you soon.